Hey, welcome back to the pod. I want to tell you today what is the word that you should never or almost never use in an interview. And I'm going to tell you in exactly 1 minute from now. Let's play a game, see if you can guess what that word is. So, look, it's the bread and butter of working in a DevOps or a cloud team that we do teamwork, that we collaborate with each other, that often that there are broader things that we have to deliver on. It could be epics or even down to stories will be split into multiple tasks, and multiple people will often work on those different items, bring it all together and deliver on it. So absolutely normal to collaborate and to do teamwork. But now look at it from the hiring manager's point of view, or the interviewer. They want to know what is your individual contribution. They want to see already from your resume a list of what you're capable of, but in the actual interview they want to hear from you, what is it that you actually did. They want to hear evidence. If you give them the evidence, then they're going to want to hire you, and they want to hear that evidence. They want to get confirmed what they've read on a resume or a CV, and hopefully this person can back all that up, and they want to hear that, and great, go forward. They've got someone, eventually can hire someone. So did you guess what that word is that you should almost never say in an interview? Well, that word is we. So instead you should say I did this and I did that. What you shouldn't say is we did this and we did that. They go through your resume, your CV, you start talking about your role and the different accomplishments, and you start talking about the team, but you start overusing the word we. They just don't want to hear that. Now, there are some rare cases where people are being very humble and they like to give their team credit, and so they overuse the word we, and they talk about team achievements, and I do think that's great, especially for a leader to say that. And in fact, a leader would say that. Well, we're talking about an engineer, we're not talking about a manager interview here. An engineer shouldn't be saying that. That's not what the interviewer wants to hear. They want to hear about your individual contribution. And the problem is, a lot of people say we when they're basically BSing the interview. I've seen it before, and there's a candidate who is struggling to really, and I'm trying to really drill down and get evidence from them about what they actually did, because it's not so clear in the resume, and as you start talking, they're still being a bit vague. And all you hear coming back is really vague stuff, and you hear a lot of we did this and we did that, and we did this and we did that. And I'm really drilling down and asking them, but please, I just want to hear from you. What is it that you actually did and you enjoyed and you learned from that? Please tell me about something that you did, something that you're proud of. And all that I'm hearing back is we did this and we did that, etc., etc. And it's super vague because it's team orientated. It's not detail about what was individually achieved. So it's a major red flag when a candidate, all that they're saying is we, and they're saying we more than I. So maybe it could be that you even have a habit of saying we a lot. It's not uncommon, and I advise you now, please don't say we. The interviewer wants to hear from you. They want to hear what your individual contribution was. Of course, it could be in the scope of something broader. It could be in the scope of something big. I have spoken, for example, about a Kubernetes upgrade that I did, and I did this work with a coworker of mine. Same thing, I did a migration of Kafka. And I work closely again with a coworker, and what you can briefly say is there was an overall objective to migrate Kafka from, I don't know, on-prem to cloud native, or there was a Kubernetes upgrade and it was a major piece of technical debt for the company that we had to get over, and it required a great team effort. But then you need to very quickly go into what you did. The interviewer doesn't care about what your coworker did. It was important in the grand scheme of things, of course, but in the interview they don't want to hear about that. They want to hear about what you did. So only talk about what you did introduce the broader scope by all means, but very quickly go into what your contribution was, because that's all that they want to hear about. They want to hear they want to know what the individual contribution was. As an engineer, you're an IC, you're an individual contributor, and that's what they want to hear. So, as I say, the word we, you should consider it almost a forbidden word in interviews. It's used frequently by people who BS, try to game the interview. Do not appear as a red flag. They don't want to hear that. They want to hear about you and what you did. And don't frustrate interviewers by talking too much we, because they'll be like, well, they'll be thinking in the back of their mind, what did this person actually do? Because I don't know. It sounds, I know what the team did, but I'm left. You don't want them to think by the end of the interview, what did this person actually do? Because I have no idea. I only know what the team did. So avoid using the word we. Do practice some mock interviews before you go into interviews, and try to stop yourself using the word we. It's like umming and ahhing. Nobody wants to hear it. Use the word I, do not use the word we. I hope you found this super useful. If you did, please give this video a like, subscribe to my channel, come back and check out my other videos. I'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.